You guys been getting anybody at council meetings? Does the public show up? Or?
We didn't, this last meeting, so previously we just requested anybody submit things, in writing and stuff like that.
At a time, but no, we didn't have to do it the last meeting, so if anybody shows up, then just have some social distancing measures in place, even for the public, so. All right, well, it is good morning, it is 9 a.m., so I will go ahead and call
the Thursday, May 14th, 2020 meeting of the City Planning Commission to order. Judy, whenever you are ready.
Okay. Mayor Muir,
Present.
Ms. Schroeder,
Here.
Mr. Flanger,
Here.
Mr. Bjarman,
Here.
and Mr. Thomas.
Here.
Wonderful. If anyone planning to give testimony or comment on today's agenda items, please stand and raise your right hand to be sworn in.
Do you affirm that all the testimony and evidence you're about to give in a case before this commission this day will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and will conform to the facts of the case and the rules of this commission? This you affirm under the pains and penalties of perjury.
I do.
Wonderful, thank you. Approval of prior meeting minutes. I would entertain a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Nay. All right, minutes pass. Moving on to new items. Item 1, petition for zoning amendment ZA-05-2020, filed by Tamarack Construction North LLC to rezone Lot 30 and partial of the alley in the Walkers Addition, Midland Avenue, from R2 single family medium density to R4 duplex triplex. CPC staff comments.
Okay, we're on the north side of Midland Avenue, just east of North Blanchard Street. It's zoned R2 single family medium density. All abutting parcels are also zoned R2. It's not within the floodplain, and the land use plan designates it as single family small lot. It's currently a vacant lot. The property owner is requesting to change the zoning to R4 duplex triplex. A preliminary sketch that he submitted with his application suggests that he would like to construct a triplex on the lot. Today is only a request to rezone, and no plans are required with the application. Any structure will have to meet required setbacks and be able to provide the off-street parking per code, or the zoning department will not issue a permit. Currently, the north side of Midland in this block is all single-family homes. The south side has a group of 4 duplexes at 501 to 517, and a commercial building at the corner of Midland and Crystal. The request is not unreasonable, but we have some concerns because a few neighbors have voiced negative opinions on the matter.
I see no comments from engineering and no comments from fire prevention. Discussion.
Applicant here?
Yes.
Oh, we want to come down. Questions, please?
And if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself.
Sure. I'm Chad Oman with Tamarack Construction North LLC. Go
You
ahead.
want to tell us a little bit about the project?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm here today to petition for that rezoning of Lot 30 in Walker's Addition on Midland Avenue from the R2 to the R4 designation, the duplex triplex. To start, I'd like to share our vision of the project. Our goal is to create something that fits within the aesthetic nature of the current buildings, but maybe with a little bit more of a enhancing. For us, it's important to make a desirable property where we can find and get the best renters. You do that with effort in design. We want what everybody wants in the neighborhood, a quiet place that is pleasing to the eye, well-maintained, and enough parking for tenants and guests. Even though we submitted a layout showing a triplex, that was primarily to demonstrate that we could meet all proper setbacks and land requirements within the lot. A duplex may be what is more prudent. Now, one of our big focuses is on making sure that there's enough off-street parking. We'll not build anything that compromises this, as parking on Midland is obviously not an option. And for those that have that concern about the actual building, it'll be a 1-story with some stonework. The reason we're looking to do the R4 reclassification on this parcel is that it actually fits in the neighborhood's profile. I believe the property has recently been put under that proposal to change to R3 in the future under that mass neighborhood citywide reclassification. And if I'm not wrong, this includes the potential for duplexes in it. Additionally, there are the apartments and duplexes that are directly across from the street, as well at least one other duplex several houses down on Midland. The houses on either side of this lot are currently rentals, as well as a good portion of the area of Findlay within this area. So it makes sense for us to fill the need here. There's also a storage shop building that's at Midland and Crystal, and then the couple businesses that are off of North Blanchard and Midland. So it is already a kind of a mixed community with higher traffic. There's definitely a need. I personally have a couple other rentals nearby, and I'm definitely inundated with requests when I post a vacancy. I'm also thorough with my rentals. I do full background and credit checks along with interviews. I know there's always been some concern from some neighbors about the tenant quality. I guess that's initially a good sum up of what we're trying to do. Turn it back over.
Perfect, thank you. Any discussion initially from the commission?
Matt, the land use plan, and I think as you alluded to, is referring to this as R3.
The proposed map update is proposing this go to R3 because of the lot size, and primarily because of the lot size. Within the R3 district, duplexes will be a conditional use. So after the map update, people wishing to have a duplex still have to go to City Planning Commission. The only difference before and after the update is now it's a rezoning, in which rezoning goes to Planning Commission and then City Council. After the map update, applicants will simply have to go to Planning Commission for a yes or no, and then it stops there.
As a conditional use.
Correct.
Yeah.
And doesn't go to city council then?
Correct, after
Oh.
the map update.
Oh, after the map update. So even our recommendation stands, it doesn't go for, okay, oh.
But
didn't
when
realize
it's a
that.
conditional use, you will be able to see what the plan is for the property, where you can't now.
Okay.
Technically, you're
Huh.
just changing the zoning. He doesn't have to submit a site plan, then he just gets a building permit from zoning. But when it's a conditional use, he will have to come in here and be granted that with whatever conditions you choose to put on it. So if you say you want him to put a fence around the backyard, you could do that. You can't do that now.
Do you own any other property on that street?
We own the house that's next to that, that one
Yeah,
right there.
both these lots are owned by the same.
One of the problems I have when you take an individual lot and you want to put a triplex on it, you're setting the house sideways to the lot. You're putting the back door of the triplex into the neighbor's side yard. And I just don't think it's a very conducive a way to try to stick a triplex into a site. You know, all these, like you said, it was kind of interesting that he had a lot of letters from the people on Allen Avenue, but I don't think anyone on Midland Avenue. But are you saying that most of those are rentals?
I know the one, that one and the one on the other side is a rental. And then if you look across the street, those are pretty,
yeah.
on Midland, there's like that whole development right there. is
Right.
rentals and-
Which is probably
There's a
50 years
commercial
old.
there.
Right.
Just quick, are those single family rentals or are they duplex?
They're single family.
Okay.
And we're open to work within, like you said, we're really on making sure that it looks within the city. Like it's not gonna look like a typical, we're not designing like a trailer type, look what you're thinking.
If you put a triplex in there, that's about the only way you can get in
Well,
and
we're
get the
open
parking
for
and get the
like
traffic.
duplex, or, so we can arrange it where more the door, if that's a concern, the doors are in the front.
Where,
Yeah,
where
take
would,
a look.
where would the parking be? Just across the front then?
I don't think he can put it across the front. I think it'll probably have to go to the rear,
Required parking is not permitted in the front.
the front yard.
And I think if the preference, I think, speaking for the board, which maybe isn't the right thing preference would be to face the structure forward like a typical residential house. And then you would have to have the parking behind. You can't have the required parking in front.
So there is no alley access, is there?
No.
No, there's no alley.
So you have to do that, you have to have a driveway going.
Yes.
And that alley has been, excuse me, vacated and is part of the property width, I assume.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was a 57.5 feet
yeah.
frontage or something, I think, something like that.
That's pretty close.
Because of the allocation.
I realize we got duplexes or yeah, duplex type buildings across the street, and of course, those are very old and been there a long time before zoning even probably took place. I do have a little bit of an issue with trying to take one little site within a residential area and turning that into a duplex. We've had that in many other instances, but it's where the duplexes were more prevalent, not single family dwelling. I just have a little heartburn, I guess, with changing that zoning to an R4.
I would, if you wouldn't mind real quick, if there's anyone else who wanted to speak on this topic, I think there might have been some individuals. If you wouldn't mind coming forward and introducing yourself.
Can I be heard?
We have a recording, so I'm not sure it'll get microphone attention.
Yeah, so if you
from
could
there.
come down forward and use the
Okay.
microphone, please.
It's being recorded, so.
My name is Susan Bowers, and I live at 519 Ellen Avenue. And I guess I'm speaking for all my neighbors today. I know my son and my neighbors sent emails, and we appreciate the input that we did receive. In October, if I make it, I will have lived in my little house for 31 years. And we have a great neighborhood. The original reason that 4 of us went in and bought the alley, portions of the alley, because 20-some years we were terrorized by drug dealers who lived next door to me. Thanks to the Findlay Police Department going on 2 years ago and the drug unit and a drug raid, that has all ceased. And our neighborhood has been wonderful. And then we saw the notice for what could be a duplex or a triplex put in, which will run up to the back of my yard and the spare lot of my neighbor, Deborah Saucer. And we are all really concerned. I don't think anybody, particularly if you're in a single-family residential neighborhood, would want to have something like this running lengthways along the vacated alley right at the back of our yard. We're also worried about who the tenants would be, possible changes in the proposed plan for single unit, could it be double story? And the fact that there are 2 rental properties on either side, what could prevent landowners from selling those properties and more of these constructions coming up? I guess those are our main concerns. Plus, there is nothing to stop anyone from going through my neighbor's property and mine from going straight back to those rental units, should they be built. So, and who would the tenants be? Would there be children allowed? Where would they put all the parking needed? Those are our real concerns. So, along with the emails from my neighbors, and we have a great neighborhood, and trust me, on my side of the street, Ellen Avenue, we are property owners. 4 of us along there are. And yes, there are some rentals on our street, but good neighbors. And there is one other consideration, it may be very, very minor. We received notice on our street that AEP is upgrading the grid in Findlay, Ohio. And the survey is supposed to start this spring. And I noticed, I went to their virtual website and looked it up, and I thought they were worried. It's called transmission equipment removal. And it goes to Crystal Avenue. And I thought they were talking about the front of my street, but no, I looked on their map. It is the back. It is the lines that go across all of our backyards that abut with the properties on Midland as well. And I don't know what that entails or how much room they will need, whatever they are going to do. But those basically are our objections. So thank you.
Well, I certainly appreciate you sharing your concerns, and I'll touch on a couple of items. You're certainly welcome in case you want to respond. Regarding AEP, I'm glad you looked at their website, and it looks like that will be a great improvement to your neighborhood as they're going through and removing some of the old lines or
Right.
relocating. So that should be a benefit. Just want to clarify that. As well as then, I just want to clarify that the alleyway that has been vacated, that is now your private property. So if someone is illegally utilizing that, you would have all rights to be able to have Findlay Police make sure to inform them or patrol the area, take action against them. So you certainly do have protection against someone using your private property. I guess I completely understand the concerns. I guess I would share, and to be honest, I haven't made up my mind on one way or the other. And I will share because I used to live in a duplex. I used to own a duplex. I've dealt with it. Certainly understand that the reason housing requirements is to address the concerns of parking, of making sure we don't have too much lot, that there's an appropriate amount of grass. And I understand wanting to protect your neighborhood, and that's the exact reason we have zoning requirements, either for single property or for duplexes. So I want to share that I appreciate you sharing your concerns, and I can't speak to really what will be decided here today, but we take that very seriously because we want our community and our neighborhoods to be conducive and appealing and welcoming to everyone long term. And certainly we want neighborhoods to have kids and families being able to be in that home maybe for 30 years. Maybe they would ultimately buy the duplex, or maybe they would find another home on that street that they enjoy it just like you have. So I appreciate your comments and just wanted to share a couple of my own. Other comments from the committee?
Matt, what property does she live at? Where does?
Is it this one? Is that yours, Mrs. Bauer?
Mr. Bowers?
Is that your lot? Is that your house? Can you go? Here's the property that's being rezoned. Is it this one?
Let me take a look up closer. Yeah,
That's yours?
That's my little house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Well, I guess one other comment I had is, we're taking an empty lot. It's not like we're tearing down an eyesore and replacing it with a new structure. We've done that before, and I think that would be an improvement to the neighborhood. But in this case, we're taking an empty lot with trees and putting a large structure on it. And so I'm kind of like leaning towards where Dan's at. I don't know that it fits. I don't know if it's going to be an improvement to the neighborhood.
I have a question for the applicant. So you guys currently own this parcel. If denied today, would you plan to move forward with the single family structure?
Yes.
Matt, where are we at with the rezoning mapping?
We are in a virus pause.
Like everything else, huh?
The Planning and Zoning Committee recommended, and I agree with them, they recommended we kind of have a couple public hearings or public meetings, kind of open house presentations, where we anticipate having 20 to 300 people showing up and us presenting the map update, us answering questions. And with the virus, we can't do that, so we're looking at options and looking at pushing it back a little bit to be able to answer all the citizens' questions. So that's where
So
we're
we're a
at.
ways away from that, so.
Yeah, probably.
Other questions from the commission? Anyone else in the crowd that wanted to speak on this item?
Maybe we should clarify for Mrs. Bowers and such, in case they don't know, that you are only making a recommendation.
I am having trouble hearing
Okay,
you.
this committee only makes a recommendation to a committee of council. So maybe I put that in your letter, how the process works. So
Right.
this is not a decision today.
Right.
You know, it has a process to go through yet, so.
Thank you.
I guess to move things along, I guess I would make a motion to deny the rezoning proposal.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Judy, whenever you are ready.
Mr. Klinger?
If there'd be an aye then.
Yes, you're an aye, yes. Mr. Dermott?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
I was hoping you'd save me for last.
Right in the middle.
I,
Mayor Barron?
Aye.
Ms. Schroeder?
Aye.
It's an enthusiastic vote.
Now, this will be going to Planning and Zoning Committee today.
I know.
That committee of council that makes a recommendation also to City Council. And that today is going to be at 11 o'clock, but I believe it's going to be a virtual meeting.
yes.
Is that correct, Colin? Okay. Can we provide them with how to get into the meeting?
I think it's available on our website, but if
It's on
you, or you can go up to my office and Denise from the council
Yeah.
clerk can provide the information.
Yeah.
I don't have it, sorry.
Yeah, they're a small committee and they meet in small rooms, so they're having is it a Zoom meeting online?
Yes.
I have the information, I can show her the codes and so on.
Yeah.
Like,
I believe it is on the website.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was.
I
Okay.
think like she said, the information on the website, and you can get it, Mr. Schindeldecker will give it to you, or you can get it up in the mayor's office of how maybe some of your neighbors might want to join into the meeting on that today at 11.
Okay, moving on to item number 2. Application for final plat FP-02-2020 for a replat of Lot 1, replat of Lot 17 and 18, and Lot 8 and 9 in the North End Commercial Park, 2nd edition. Given that today's meeting is being recorded, Mr. Schindeldecker, do you wouldn't mind moving into the hallway, just so we don't have background noise?
Probably heard.
We're recording, could you? Good. Thank you so much, sorry.
All right. Dan.
Okay. We're
Or
inside
CBC
this-
Tech.
Yeah. You should be easy. We're inside this circle created by Speedway Drive and Marathon Way. Zoned I-1 light industrial. To the south and east is also I-1. To the north and west is C2 general commercial. It's not in a floodplain, and the land use plan designates it as regional commercial. In 2019, lots 8 and 9 were rezoned to I-1 light industrial. The existing storage units on lot 1 were approved in various phases between 2017 and 2019. The applicant's proposing to combine existing lots herein to create just one lot. And they also want to vacate a recorded utility and drainage easement through the middle of what will be the new lot number 19. So the replat will take care of creating a unified lot and vacating that recorded easement. So staff recommends approval.
See no comments from engineering, no comments from fire prevention, so the recommendation from the CPC staff recommends approval of the application for final plat FP-02-2020 for a replat of Lot 1, replat of lot 17 and 18 and lot 18 and 9, or 8 and 9 in the North End Commercial Park Second Edition. Right, Leanne?
The replat.
I know.
It's a mess. Any questions?
Dan, the utility easement or the drainage easement,
Mhm.
that's the area that kind of heads south, is it?
Correct. Right now, there's like a, I think a 15-foot utility easement here that was platted. Typically when we do plats, we provide rear lot line easements. When this plat was done, the utility easement was placed on the rear lot line. It was never utilized. All of the infrastructure is along the public roadway, so there's nothing in that utility easement. When this was originally platted, there was a utility easement here for a drainage pond. When this pond was installed as part of the cube and all of this redevelopment, this drainage easement and detention area went away. When this was replatted, this drainage easement was taken away, so now this is what's just left. So again, it's just trying to clear up the utility easements and make it all one lot so they can continue to develop all across here. This will stay. That's the overhead transmission line, and there's also a high pressure gas line that runs through there. So essentially there'll be a very small buildable area here that probably will never be built on, but it could be used as storage area or something like that if they ever develop it. But essentially they want to create one lot out of it and get rid of this utility easement to make the property more developable.
Do you know what their intentions is? Is it more storage units?
If
or-
I had to guess, it'd be more storage units, because the way this was set up originally is there was going to be a bunch of trailer storage back here. That turned out to be a nightmare for them. They had people living there and in their trailers and stuff. So they want to get rid of that, and they want to continue the overall storage unit developments.
Turns into a trailer park.
They did have a couple people staying there and working on cars and stuff like that, so they want to get rid of that outside storage as much as they can.
I will, unless there's any other discussion, pretty straightforward, I will make a motion to approve or recommend approval.
I would second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Judy, whenever you are ready.
Mr. McDermott?
Hi.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Mayor Meary?
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder?
Aye.
And Mr. Flinger?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan.
Stay safe.
Moving on to application, item number 3, application for site plan review, ST-09-2020, filed by Russ O.P. Findlay LLC, 2930 Centennial Road, Toledo, Ohio, for a 1,350 square foot building addition, gravel pit, concrete shed, dumpster, and walkway relocation for EverDry waterproofing located at 1760 Romick Parkway. CPC staff comments.
Okay. That east side of Romick Parkway on lot 27 and a portion of lots 25 and 26 in Deer Meadows subdivision. It's zoned I-1 light industrial, and the surrounding parcels on the west, east, and south are also zoned I-1. The parcel to the north is zoned C2 general commercial. It's not within a floodplain, and the land use plan designates it as general commercial. The last thing we had here in November 2019, we approved a parking lot to the north of the building. The original building was approved back in May of 2017. The applicant proposes to construct a 50 by 27 addition to the north end of the existing building. Let me zoom in so there's a-
That's real clear.
Yeah, not too clear though, is it? The addition will be used to park 2 trucks and for storage. There's an overhead door for access along the west side of the building, and it will be constructed with the same finishes as the existing structure. North of the new addition will be secured with chain link fence along the west side with gates for access to a gravel storage area with concrete block walls and a roll-off dumpster. An 8-foot wood fence will be on the north and east sides. There'll be a gate at the northeast corner for access to the pre-mixed concrete storage shed. Walkway to the north parking lot is being moved from its original location to the east side of the fenced area. They originally had it kind of in the middle going up to that parking lot. Yes, it was So the new addition and all the accessory small structures are in line with the original building footprint, so all setbacks are met. The heights are the same also. The applicant is in the process of combining the lots and portions of lots so that this will be one unified parcel. So we recommend approval.
All right, engineering did have some comments regarding access. Brian, do you want to mention those?
Pretty much nothing's gonna change on access or any utilities. That area that they're developing now is, already impervious, so it doesn't change the detention requirements at all. And they're not disturbing, any more additional soil than what they were planning on before, so there'll be no changes to the, MS4 requirements.
Perfect. There were no comments from fire prevention. Would you like to tell us a little bit about the project and share any comments or questions you have for us?
First off, I apologize for having my mask. I got caught off guard this morning. But it is just it's an addition to the existing building for 2 trucks and some more storage. I'm not sure what else you guys want me to do.
Sometimes there's some.
I'd be happy to answer any other questions if you want.
I think Judy or Matt, I think the last time we came in here, we requested a walkway across here. Is that?
Right,
Is that
and now,
reasonable?
they had brought it in on the plan, and
Right
had
here.
it kind of in the middle. Now it's been moved over here at the end.
Right.
But they brought it up with showing it, yeah, so there is a walkway.
Okay, question for the applicant though. Anybody that parks here, you're gonna require them to walk to the end of the parking lot, down here, and then down here to the entrance?
Well,
So to speak.
the majority of the parking is by the, and for people that are going into the main building.
Right.
The stuff to the north is just gonna be,
But you don't have any access to the building on this side or this side here, I don't believe, do you?
No.
no, nothing on nothing on the east side. It's all on the south and the west.
Okay.
That's probably all employees, I mean. that come in.
Yeah, there's a few people that come in and out. They have like a virtual meeting room in there and stuff.
Yeah. It would seem more logical if you still had something to walk here, across here for a walkway for the employees. But with this addition, is this moving or is that where it currently is that gonna stay? Your current gravel storage there?
I believe it's gonna stay.
Okay, so this is already in place, this is in place, I think, isn't it? That cement?
Yes.
Cement?
Yes.
And your dumpster's in place, so you're just building up to the existing facilities there.
Yeah.
Do you have any issues getting that roll-off container in and out of there? Doesn't really line up with the.
I was not there for it, so I'm not sure what that situation is gonna be like. Or was like.
I don't have any problems with this. I mean, it seems like a logical expansion and you've got some of the things already in place. It's just that, you know, it seems like if you made it a little more convenient for your employees, they're not gonna go walking across the lawn. But they'll take the shortest route.
Yeah.
Is there a swale back there, or is that?
It's a landscape lawn.
It's just landscape.
Is there anyone else to speak on this item? I don't see anybody, but sometimes they hide.
Everybody's disappeared.
Any other comments from the commission? Seeing none, I will motion to recommend approval.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All right, Judy, whenever you are ready.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Mayor Muir?
Aye.
Ms. Schroeder? Aye. Mr. Klinger?
Aye.
And Mr. DeYarmond?
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You currently own, excuse me,
Did you sign?
No.
Okay, would you put your name on it? Yeah, just so I have it for minutes.
Any other items from the commission or from each of
Dan, did you have something?
well, just that, was that northern part of the property recently added or was that always part of that development there, I guess? It's not
What,
important.
on there? Your parking lot?
No, the northern portion of the site. Because you had on the site boundaries, you had the whole part up to the next street.
Oh, did he show the whole thing? I didn't see this. Oh, he did, sorry. Yeah, he just went along the property line. No, that's where they plan on splitting the lots, actually. They're gonna create, They're taking the part off where they have the parking lots. Those are 2 lots up there. That crosses the parking lot.
Okay,
They're taking those 2 lots. Oh, you can see the lots on that one, the lot lines. They're taking those 2 lots, splitting them, adding that
You say
parking lot, yeah,
a lot
adding that
here
parking
and a
lot,
lot
and then
here.
they'll have a vacant lot over here that I think they plan to sell.
okay, so the parking lot's right here, so are you
Yeah.
saying they're gonna split it here then?
Yeah, they're gonna split it there and combine all that together in one,
Okay.
and then have a vacant part.
Any other items?
We just had that administrative approval, and I think I left it there on the desk for Menards. I
Yeah,
think you
that looks
looked at
fine.
it.
All right.
What was that?
There was
Menards.
administrative approval for Menards.
It's right here.
It's like-
Oh,
They're just
oh.
moving their gate up for the outdoor.
Yeah, they're moving the gate that goes back to the storage yard up toward the park.
Oh,
They're
okay.
just moving it up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right. Seeing none, I will motion to adjourn. Seeing no objections,